but I've always been a big advocate of rugby players, especially in the U.S., utilizing a personal brand off of the platform of this international one. And it's always interesting because within the rugby community, it's known, and everybody kind of has a little bit of a bubble figure.
I started at a pretty low level coming into the professional realm of rugby and have had to build myself from there, physically, just who I am as a rugby athlete, and then my brand as well of making the decision of, okay, I've made my mark in this sport. Where do I go from here to make sure that after the sport, I can still contribute to it and have a name in it without having to be on the field?
You know, like, to be honest, it's great to be able to get into that point. Oh, my goodness, this cat does not want to be annoying. All right, so I got these two cats, one that's chill, this other one that's, like, addicted to being touched, and so she's trying to force her way in. It's very wrong. It's very wrong. But no, I wanted to actually really get into, especially when it comes to the brand, because we've heard the story, and I'll get a little bit of background, obviously, for those who don't know, because we're talking hopefully with a bit of an audience that has maybe not as much rugby knowledge as we do. But when it comes to brand, for me, I have always been a massive advocate. I've always said it out loud and a little bit here in bits and pieces in written form. But I've always been a big advocate of rugby players, especially in the U.S., utilizing a personal brand off of the platform of this international one. And it's always interesting because within the rugby community, it's known, and everybody kind of has a little bit of a bubble figure where it's like, oh, you're known in here, so you must be known everywhere. You're known around the world. But the reality is, it's not always that. But one thing I really appreciated when you were doing it, especially, was how you use your social media and Instagram, and then subsequently when you actually really started, like, you know, flexing brands a lot more, because it now made it more of like the development of a star, something that I've always believed rugby needs, and annoyingly seems to like have this humble concept that it doesn't. So for you, like, what was the motivation setup that was like, okay, I want to start leading into this personal brand mechanism?
To be honest with you, the first reason I started was like, okay, I'm making rugby money. How can I make money outside of it? So that was kind of like, okay, how can I build financial stability while I'm playing rugby and after? Legacy-wise, just for my family and my friends and myself to be financially stable so that I have something when I'm not getting that rugby salary from playing. And then after a while, just getting into the sport and realizing the effect that had on people, and how much support I was getting from people that I didn't know, that had never met me before, and was just going off of who they saw me on social media as. So with social media, it was just really important for me to show my authentic self and express who I was on a day-to-day basis, not just on the field or what articles and different podcasts were broadcasting about me. And just noticing how many people were attracted to how authentic and humorous and real I was. It was just motivation to give back to them. So like I started doing giveaways because I've received so much from rugby, just from the sport and the people in general. So I was like, okay, what's a way that I can give back? Social media is perfect for that, where you can reach so many people around the world that you couldn't do in person. So just doing giveaways and trying to give back to people after receiving all these things that I can't use. So why not give it to somebody who can use it and who would appreciate it a lot more than I could in that moment. So the giveaways were really important for me.